Hi everyone, I'm Kancho Albert Venter, and today we're going to have a look at a karate technique called Kage. Now, Kage is commonly known as the hook punch. So today we're going to take a look at what it is, how we as karatekas practice it in the dojo, and then afterwards we're going to take a look at how you defend yourself against this technique. Now, Kage isn't a commonly practiced karate technique, mostly because it's not allowed at competitions, but it's still a very old karate technique and very important to train. But before we begin, please hit the like, subscribe and notification bell so that you can stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Now, Kage or hook punch can be delivered in two ways, either by a complete momentum throw of power or a quick jab coming in and then flowing back. Now, I prefer the last one. Throwing a massive amount of power into one direction can lead to a loss of balance and takes a couple of seconds to recuperate back to your original fighting stance, whereas other than working with absolute momentum, trying to generate kinetic energy, the kinetic energy being the best option, because my hands return towards my body and comes back into my zone of balance. Now, I do not want to throw the punch way over there. As this punch travels, it will go up toward the target and then return back to me. Same with the rear hand. If I stand still and I throw the punch here, this will happen. So I will throw and do this. Much like doing a normal karate punch or Yakusuki punch, where at the end I flip my hand over to generate more energy. The same thing happens here. That is where the energy are released. Well, okay, let's take a look at how we practice it in the dojo. There's a couple of ways, so we'll go through it step by step, and you're more than welcome to train it with me. Well, in the first clip, you saw me doing Kage in Dojo Ukizuki Ich or Dojo Ukizuki Ni, which means moving forward and back in the dojo in my stances, practicing the technique. But what we're going to do now is the foot swap technique. So it will be Sonoba, standing in one place while I'm delivering the Kage. Look something like this. Well, okay, we're now moving on to the focusing pad training, or you can use the punching bag. I prefer the focusing pad, gives you more agility, a more area of movement. So we'll do 10 of them, common exercise, but good enough to train. So we'll go from here, it'll be 1, 2, bob and weave. Now, the bobbing and weaving, mostly used by the boxers, is excellent for getting out of the way of somebody that's really throwing that hook punch. But if it's a controlled hook punch and you bob and weave, you might run into a spectacular amount of trouble, because this is close combat. There's no real distance between us. So let's do the exercise. can be a very powerful strike. So it uses my shoulder as a whip, but start from my rear leg or front leg, utilizing my hip. So as I pull the energy up through my body, this will be the preferred technique rather than this. So I want to use my shoulder and the whole side of my body as I throw the punch. Now, to add more energy to it, I will use my core, pull in my stomach, contract the muscles, and breathe correctly as I throw the punch. Now I'm turning a little bit on my back foot, throwing my hip in, being loose with my shoulders to deliver the technique. Now, one of the practical applications of Kagi or the hook is for me to get around my opponent's defenses. Now, most fighters, when they fight, they cover their faces, and this gives them the ability to cover low or high, or to swap between their defenses, making it difficult for me. So if I go straight in, I will hit his arms. Now, make no mistake, hitting bare knuckle on the arm there, it's kind of sore, and most martial artists will use that. So if the opponent covers up, they'll just go in and destroy your arms outright. But now, back to the Kagi, he's covering up here, so as we're fighting, I can direct around his defenses. Now if he's quick, he'll just cover to the face there. Since I think they will cover, I will strike. So my follow-up will then be from the other side, or my follow-up will be an uppercut coming from below. But now, that is one of the applications. But we're going to look at some of the defenses now that you can do against the hook or Kagi. Fine. Like we did with the drill and the focusing pads, I can bob and weave, depending on whether or not I correctly estimated where his punch is going to fall. Now, 95% of the time, they're aiming at the hook of the jaw, the corner of the jaw, the point of the jaw, or get it on my ear, and some fighters in the street will even throw it onto the neck to create a more devastating blow, rocking the opponent and his confidence. So, as he throws the hook punch slowly, this will happen. I'll bob and immediately counter there. He does it again. Counter, counter, and counter. The second one is, if he throws the hook punch, I only step slightly to the side and use Zuki or jabbing punch or strike directly to his face. So as he's throwing that, I've already stricken his face over there. So he's going to swing that arm straight at my head. I go. I'm moving with his momentum, with his energy, but I'm moving out of the way while delivering the strike there. Okay. So the first one, as he throws the punch, I'm bobbing, striking. The second one, as he throws the punch, I am moving out of the way. Those are the two most effective ways of dealing with a hook punch. The third one is where he throws the hook punch and I simply go block and then strike. Sort of like an intercepting punch. So as he comes, I use the block, and then the power he presses against my arm here will now flow through my hand, and he's actually punching himself right here. So as Sensei Peter is throwing the punch, I'm going, and then immediately following up with my strike or kick or whatever you prefer. Right. Second one will be that as he throws the punch, it'll end up in a takedown. So I'm not going to grab and throw him. I'm going to use the Zuki as a takedown. So he'll throw the punch. I'll punch hard enough here while hooking, taking down the opponent. Now we did this with his right hand, but it can be done, all the defenses can be done with his front hand as well. Usually martial artists or good fighters love the front hand jab or hook because it's close. Now, what he doesn't want to do is, he doesn't want to pull back and then punch, because like with all techniques, now I'm telegraphing exactly what I'm going to do. So if I do this, his arm is already moving in towards defense. So I've already given myself away. But if I do this, by the time he realizes what's going on, it's already too late, because my hand started from here and this didn't happen. So again, if he throws the hook punch with the leading hand, the front hand, this will happen. Counter punch from the inside. Okay. Once again. Okay. As he throws the punch again from this side, I'm going to step slightly to the side and throw a straight jab into the face, and then counter if I want to. Okay. The takedown will be exactly the same. So once he punches, I'm using my Kagi or hook punch here to generate energy while I'm punching him to the floor and then devastating him there. Well, another defense using my kicks to counteract the hook strike will be either by doing hizagiri or a simple Kagi maigiri. Now, Kagi is a snap maigiri, and this one will be at a very short distance. So, as he throws the punch here, I'll go to my maigiri, either kengiri or maigiri, or even hizagiri. So, if he throws the punch, I'll go block, hizagiri. If he throws the punch, I'll go weave, maigiri. If he throws the punch, I'll go weave, maigiri. Or if he throws the punch, I'll go block, maigiri, and then continue my defense from there. Well, okay, before we sign off, we'll do a couple of drills to the count of 10 with these, and I think that'll be Kagi for today.
Ich, Ni, San, Shi, Go, Rek, Sich, Ach, Gu, Chu, Aya. Ich, Ni, San, Shi, Go, Rek, Sich, Ach, Gu, Chu, Aya. Ich, Ni, San, Shi, Go, Rek, Sich, Ach, Gu, Chu,
And moving to the other side, or the other leg in front, it looks something like this.
Ich, Ni, San, Shi, Go, Rek, Sich, Ach, Gu, Chu.
Well, okay, that was our look into Kagi, or the classical hook punch. And from here on, we'll go through all the classical or more modern ways of striking. Now, bear in mind, these will all be classical Shotokan Karate fighting techniques, because there's more to Shotokan Karate than most people would realize. So, as we go through each one of them, we have selected 45 of them, so we'll end up with about 45 videos. Suki.